myth until my case.
So the Hip Hop Task Force would?
The Hip Hop Task Force was created to watch Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, to watch the artists that was connected with P. Diddy. And then it just, what they were doing was profiling black people that were making money in the music industry, even if they wasn't committing any crimes. A lot of times people say, you're a conspiracy theorist, you watch too many movies or something like that, you know? But a lot of stuff I was learning was very real.
You, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah. By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah. I tell y'all who that was off camera.
Uh-oh. Stealing chains now? Is it your world star?
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything to you, though?
Learning that the African diet, black man's diet.
Bring it on. What is it? Tell me.
You know, first of all, you know, blacks, we have carbon in our bodies, so it makes our skin bright. They like to call it melanin. It's another name they use for it. Because we have a connection with the sun that other cultures don't have.
So what should we eat?
Katt Williams just blew the lid off something most people brushed off as paranoia. He confirmed what Prodigy warned us about right before he mysteriously choked to death. See, Prodigy wasn't rambling in his final days. He was sounding the alarm, not on music beefs on dark industry rituals. Right before his death, Prodigy was speaking heavy, not just music industry shade. He was pulling the curtain back on some disturbing stuff. He spoke on rituals and secret groups doing things to young people that had nothing to do with music during what would be his final interview. His tone said it all. He wasn't scared. He told the interviewer there was nothing they could do to stop what was already in motion. Then all of a sudden, he was gone. And now Katt Williams just confirmed it all.
Without going too far, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be preachy. I don't want my music to be that. But I want to throw that in there. Because the most important audience to me is the people that are struggling.
The official media run of Prodigy's death was that he choked on a boiled egg, but nobody could wrap their head around that he had anemia. Yeah, but the autopsy didn't even bring that up as a factor. It wasn't even mentioned. It was all about the egg, and folks instantly felt like that story just didn't hold up. So the family stepped in and filed a lawsuit against Spring Valley Medical Center in Vegas. They said the hospital messed up. They didn't keep his didn't track his oxygen like the doctors told them to. So now folks really started questioning, was it just a mistake or was something bigger behind it? Because when you look at Prodigy's timeline, the tweets, the interviews, even the lawsuit, it paints a story that feels way deeper than just hospital negligence. It feels calculated, and now with Katt speaking on it years later, saying the same thing, it makes it real hard to just brush off. Let's rewind it a bit, way back in the 90s, before folks were even throwing the word Illuminati around like they do now. Prodigy already had it in his verses on LL Cool J's I Shot You remix. He said, "Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body, secret society, trying to keep their eye on me." That was 1995, way before Twitter, before YouTube conspiracies. He was ahead of everybody with this kind of talk, and he wasn't doing it for shock value. He was trying to get people to wake up. Then in 2008, he dropped that Illuminati track and didn't hold back. This is not a theory. The conspiracy is real. They want to put me in a straitjacket in a padded room. And when he was locked up in 2007, he penned an open letter from prison where he straight up said Jay-Z had knowledge of what was going on, but chose to play for the other side. According to Prodigy, and Diddy knew the game, but kept quiet so he could move in those corporate spaces. He accused Jay of promoting the lifestyle of the beast instead of using his voice to lift up the truth.
And one of the things you were talking about a lot while you were in prison was a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, that's real.
Talk to me about, because I remember, can we bring this up real quick? It's just it's from your letter. I'm going to read it. It says, the exact moment in time when I discovered the entire planet was being lied to and was put upon a spell to keep us unaware of it was back in 1996, around the time Biggie got locked up for the tech in his house. And then there was something else here that I thought was interesting. You said Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and promotes the lifestyle of the beast.
If that wasn't enough, Prodigy made it clear he was going to keep fighting back. He said he would keep exposing every evil force that exists until the day his lights go out, just hearing that now it hits different.
And you, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah. By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah. I tell y'all who that was off camera.
You stealing chains now? Is it a world star?
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything?
Even though Prodigy later said in interviews that he didn't actually think every rapper was part of the Illuminati, he never walked back the bigger point that the Illuminati was real and operating in plain sight. He was still convinced that music was being used to influence how people move, think, eat, and even live. He called it a full web government, religion, banks, and yes, hip-hop, all working together behind closed doors.
A lot of people, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati, like there's certain rappers in the Illuminati, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye, and so. Do you believe that they're rappers?
Something that brings us back to Katt Williams. See, when Kanye West mentioned Prodigy's passing during an interview with Candace Owens, that triggered a wave of curiosity all over again. Kanye said he never believed Prodigy died from choking on an egg.
This morning, he was like, okay, I realized this. I realized that I really don't feel Prodigy died from...
Candace looked confused at first, but then pulled up a clip where Prodigy talked about all the sinister stuff happening behind the scenes, and in that clip, Prodigy didn't hold anything back. He spoke directly about ritualistic and disturbing practices involving young people. He said they were doing satanic rituals and using young folks as part of these underground agendas.
They're doing all this ritualistic murder and rituals on little, you know, they molesting little kids, doing satanic sex rituals. Like, this stuff is really going on in this world. Like, on 9/11, you know what I mean? What they did was they killed 20 birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to say it. You know what I mean? Because they changed all kinds of laws. They changed all kinds of they changed people's mentality, the way they look at the world. They pulled off one of the biggest ritualistic murders, you know what I mean? That ever happened, you know what I mean, live.
The kind of statement that either makes you roll your eyes or go dig for receipts, and Katt didn't treat it like a joke. He stood behind.
In that, the African diet, the black man's diet.
Bring it on. What is it? Tell me about it.
You know, first of all, you know, blacks, we have carbon in our bodies, which makes our skin brown. Okay? They like to call it melanin. It's another name they use for it. We have a connection with the sun that other cultures don't have.
So what should we eat?
What's crazy is that media outlets started reporting that YouTube had pulled it, and not just the video. Candace Owens caught a 1-week suspension too. That right there made it feel like someone really didn't want that info out in the open.
I said he then mysteriously choked on an egg. Maybe the first person in human history to have choked on an egg in some capacity after speaking out.
Illuminati, and it's not like Prodigy only spoke once and disappeared. He'd been tweeting for years, dropping links, books, and resources for folks to connect the dots on their own. Back in 2014, he tweeted about a report on alleged voodoo rituals targeting young people overseas. In his own words, "I told y'all furs they doing X rituals on kids. Dumb people need to wake the F up." Now pause and think. A man who spent his career connecting dots, dropping clues, and speaking fearlessly on heavy topics suddenly passes from a so-called egg incident, and that's all they want us to believe, especially after he released his final album, Hegelian Dialectic, the Book of Revelation, just 5 months before he died. An album that focused exactly on hidden agendas, control, and secret societies. He was also reportedly working on a stage production to break everything down further. A lot of what he spoke on lined up with other artists who later voiced their own concerns about Diddy, including DMX and 50 Cent.
Now, you got issues with the industry. What's going down with the industry, dog?
The industry is full of a bunch of dick-sucking, dick-riding, bending over the desk-ass niggas, straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't give a fuck. Bring it. Bring it, bitch.
They got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play their shit, and you know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executives' dicks, and it's like there's too much of that going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am, and just play my motherfucking music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now they want you all up under this, you know, sitting at the going to dinner with them and shit like that, and you know all that favor for a favor shit. I don't get down like that. Look, I give you the music, you give my money. That's it.
A lot of the love I had for wanting to be a part of the industry is not there anymore. I don't even associate myself with the industry. You know what I'm saying?
When Katt Williams came out recently reflecting on similar topics, rituals, secrets, manipulation, it didn't sound like something new. It felt like an echo, a continuation of what Prodigy started. At this point, it's hard to say this is all coincidence, according to several sources close to the situation. Katt feels like Prodigy wasn't just ranting, he was exposing, and he paid for it. One user said, "I never saw these Prodigy interviews. Wow, he made sense with a lot of the stuff, and it's apparent especially now." While another said, "Even after his death, his message is so strong and relevant today." So, what do you think about the whole thing? Drop your take in the comments. We're watching this unravel in real time, and if you're here for the unfiltered facts and real talk, go ahead and tap that like, subscribe, and check out the next video waiting for you.